We have been experiencing a lot of changes lately. Parents have become more bonded with their children, and a lot of issues have been resolved because their kids are not yet allowed to go out, and most of them are also working from home. Imagine life has become more easier when we do groceries, shopping, and bank transactions in just one click of a finger online. But on the other hand, there are some parents who have been complaining and asking for what to do because their kids are more into social media, movie marathons, and addicted to online gaming. There were also some parents who opted to save some amount of money and did modular learning and are now screaming at the top of their voices and are asking for help. And they are wondering if their kids even learned something from the modules. Here in Wise Kids, you have a choice. We want to empower you to make a choice. That's why we're going to discuss today, online or offline? Which one? Thank you for joining me here. And this is the outline of our discussion. For part 1, there will be definition of terms. Part 2, what are the programs offered by Wise Kids comparing before and after because there is really a change. Part 3 are the key features of the online and offline. Part 4 would be the advantages. Part 5 would be the disadvantages. And Part 6, let's have a summarized comparison. Once again, thank you for joining me here. And if you find this webinar or webcast useful, kindly share it to your other friends. So let's start with the definition of terms. Just a review. Blended learning. This is a type of education in which students learn via electronic and online media as well as traditional face-to-face teaching. That's why it's called blended. There's online and there's this actual face-to-face. But what about the remote or distance learning? This happens when learning is done outside the classrooms. That's why it's called remote or distance. Here in Wise Kids, we call it as anytime, anywhere learning. Now, what about the online distance learning? It isn't a way of delivering education, instruction, or training using internet-based technologies to the students or through the teachers who are not physically present in one location, and in an effort to extend the reach of content to a wider audience. Classes are meeting online during different various schedules, but using online learning platforms. Let's talk about the different types of online distance learning. Synchronous learning. Pag sinabing synchronous, it is a type of distance learning wherein the class is conducted in real time. Remember the word sync. You're all together in one time. They are logging in, the teachers and the students are logging in an online platform and carry out the task throughout the allotted time. We have adopted the platform for this purpose here in Wise Kids. Now, what about asynchronous learning? It is also a type of distance learning where the students are provided with the content and the task that they need to accomplish within a time frame. And this one uses a learning management system. There will be interaction between the parents, the teachers, and the students, but it does not really happen in real time. There's no face-to-face, there's no online synchronous learning, but the students can be engaged in the class materials and even complete their tasks at the pace that they want, given the time frame. What about modular learning? It is a form of distance learning that uses SLM. What is that? The self-learning modules. That's why it's dependent on the pacing of each student. But this one is based on the MELCs, the most essential learning competencies provided by the DepEd. So just take note that all of our lessons are based on the competencies made by the DepEd. But with this quarantine, they try to simplify it using the MELCs. The modules include sections on motivation, assessment, and it serves as a guide for both the students and the teachers for the desired competencies. So to give you an overview of the parts of the modular learning, we have the introduction, the objectives, the lecture notes, the exercises and the assigned tasks, the discussion interaction, exercises, worksheets, examples, and then the summary. Okay, you have to take note of the definition of terms. So with this setup now, everything is remote and distance. Your only choice is that you wanted it to become offline or online. Now, for Wise Kids Part 2, these are the programs that are offered before. We have 5 options: blended, remote, advanced, basic, and customized. But now, we have simplified them into 3. Online. When you say online, that was the previously remote and blended. Offline. But we have made it into offline modular plus. That includes basic and advanced. But we didn't take out the homeschool because this homeschool is a program which is parent-led. It's the parents who decide what curriculum to use as per advice of the Wise Kids Factor. But how do you make a choice? Is it offline, online, or homeschool? I give you 3 considerations. Letter A, is it offline or online? It depends on the availability of the gadgets and your connectivity. If you have this connectivity, malakas ba? Kaya ba? Do you have enough gadgets at kaya bang kontrolin ang mga gadgets na ito? Letter B, parent-led or teacher-led. Who has the time to facilitate? Because really, if it's a modular thing, offline modular, it is more of a parent-led. And letter C, do you want it sync with the school pace? Or will you have your own pace? Yung bilis, gusto nyo bang sumabay sa school? O kayo ang magdidikta ng bilis o bagal ng inyong pacing? Ngayon naman po, let's take it one by one. The key features, the online versus the offline. The online learning first. In the online learning, we're going to use our school information management system, wherein, unlike before, attendances of your kids will be checked. The moment they enter into the system, attendance will be checked. You will be notified via text or SMS when your kids are already inside the room. There will be updates on the accounts and the e-receipts will be issued. So ito po ang papasukan po ninyo kapag naayos na ang lahat. wisekidsonline.com. Even the enrollment, we hope to catch it up. Everything po, the class schedule, the announcement, the guidance monitoring, everything po is there in our wisekidsonline.com. What about our learning content management system? We have one entrance to all platforms because we're going to use different platforms, but the good news is you're going to enter only into one. Then, we have printed modules for Kinder 1. The LMS will be the one to house our videos and electronic modules for Kinder 2 to grade 6. Yes, we were able to contact our partners from, Philippine Science and UP Diliman to make the videos for us and the modules that we have prepared, sync it all together and upload it in our LMS. But for the grade 7 and 12, we have the LMS to house our electronic modules and the content. Hindi pa man po masyadong kompleto ang aming mga videos, but we are on the process of completing them. Also, we will be including the electronic modules for the minor subjects. So it's not like before, but everything will be placed in there. There will be self-paced digital platform which still finds and fixes the learning gaps. Pareho po, true to all levels from Kinder 2, Kinder 1, until grade 12. Mind you that these digital platforms are internationally based platforms. Just a go through of our LCMS or the Learning Content Management System. That is where we will do the live video classes, where we will upload the videos, the lessons, and the online exams. Oh no, the online exams now, medyo mas strict ng konti. Sensitive then if the kids are, opening some sites while the classes are going on or the exams are going on. Study materials will also be uploaded in our LCMS. Okay, for our offline learning, what are the key features? You have a choice between our time-tested School of Tomorrow modules. How many modules do we have? We have 12 for each subject for 5 subjects: English, Math, Science, Filipino, and Araling Panlipunan. And then, you have another choice, and that is our Wise Kids printed simplified modules. So if you're looking for a more of a mastery-based thing, go for SOT. But if you're looking for a direct-to-the-point simplified modules, then choose our Wise Kids modules. Now, for the offline learning, unlike before, there will be 3 times a week checkups with the homeschool advisor. Now, this is a short, individualized goal setting and checking of accomplishments. Kaya po hindi na mahihiya yung anak ninyo para sabihin that, Doc or teacher, this is my task, this is my plan for me to do for 2 days. So, one-on-one na po siya, and it's just a quick call. It's a short, individualized goal setting and checking of the accomplishments with our homeschool advisors, so there's no need to be ashamed if they're not yet finishing their tasks and goals on time. Quick lang naman po yun. So, please, kasi unlike before, given no sense of accountability, there were a lot of backlogs and we wanted to do away with that notion already for this time. Now, the modules for minor subjects, if you will be getting the Wise Kids package, kasama na po yun yung mga printed modules natin. But if you're going to use SOT, we will just be providing you with the electronic copies. Now, for the offline, the parents will check all the students' tasks. Kasi kailangan po yun because you cannot produce to the next topic and the next topic until and unless the parents are able to check the accomplishments of the kids. There will be month and term assessments for English and Math so that we will be able to check if they are still on par with the standardized tests. And the students can join the special academic days via Zoom. That's including the other students. So there's this place for interaction. Now for the add-ons. This is both for offline and online students. You can still subscribe to our online self-paced platforms even if you enrolled in the offline learning. Para kung gusto nyo po na kontrolado ninyo ang pacing, go for offline. Pero kung gusto mo rin na matuto rin siya yung mga self-learning and self-paced instructions, you have this option. You can also subscribe to Kubits kasi marami rin pong nagre-request niyan. Kasi ang Kubits po, they have a way of explaining math in a different kind of way that the kids would be able to understand, and it's gamified. But then again, it's offered for both offline and online. Yun lang, we are to come up with about 50 subscribers to have it made affordable to wise kids. For grade 7 and 12, pwede naman yung math score. And kung problema naman ng mga online mommies and daddies ang issue na ito, meron din po na ino-offer sa atin na gadget lock-in app. What is this? You just have to give to them kung ano yung gadget na ginagamit, whether it's an iPad or it's a computer, desktop, and then ilalock po yun so that during the school time, let's say 8 to 12 or 8 to 5 p.m., there are no sites that can be opened, no apps that can be opened except for the platforms that are prescribed for their school learning. Mabubuksan lang po yun before or after the set time. So kung gusto nyo po yun, 50 po ang kailangan natin na makuha na subscribers. Okay, part 4, the advantages. Ito na. Which one? For the online learning can be as good or even better than in-person classroom learning. Research has shown that students in online learning perform better than those receiving face-to-face instruction. But it must be done right. Totoo po talaga yan. Kasi po, ang daming oras, kung mabilis yung bata, you're able to learn a lot in just a given time limit. Let's take a look at the other advantages. Number 1 is the convenience and flexibility. Wow, convenient talaga. Flexible because with anytime, anywhere, basta lang po you're attending the synchronous classes. For all the others, you can just make yourselves use the schedule that you have set. Number 2, students learn more in less time. We have self-motivated students from this school year who are able to do their task in just an hour or 2. Yung sinet ni teacher and all the rest, pwede na magsayaw, naglilinis na ng bahay. Ang dami nang pwedeng maaral pa kasi ang dami pang oras. Number 3 is that it requires less of a time and financial investment. Oh wow! The traffic, the school services, the canteen meal, and all the other stuff and such, big savings. Kung marunong lang talaga tayo mag-compute, this is really a good investment for us to have online learning. Kaya naman parang gusto na natin na tuloy-tuloy na ang online learning na ito. Number 4, more frequent assessments can reduce distractions. If you have noticed, especially in our digital platforms, after each lesson, there's an assessment. Another lesson, there's an assessment. Because, it's not like before that you're waiting for the quiz time, you're waiting for the monthly and term assessments. Now, after each lesson, pwede nang i-check if they're able to understand it or not. It also gives real-world skills and lifelong learning. Why did we say this? With the time advancing, everything is going to be online. Every learning is going to be via Google or who else. Who knows what other apps will be discovered and produced. Lahat po talaga hindi na limitado nung unang panahon. Tayo lang mga parents ang may sole source ng knowledge. The kids will ask us and we have to know. But now, kids are more, are smarter compared to us. Minsan nga yung anak ko, he's asking me things that I don't even know the answer. Pero, kaya niyang alamin kasi ang dami niyang na-research. At ang isa po doon, Marami siyang na-meet ng mga friends kasi we have extra time in a day. So we enrolled him dun sa chess online. So wow, internationally connected na ang aming isang anak. Teaches focus and self-discipline. Importanteng maintindihan ito that with a long time per day, how do you manage it? How do you make the most use of your time? How do you control yourself and keep yourself focused, especially if the gadget is on at marami kang pwedeng i-Google? Kaya po yung mga kids who are able to focus on their task, yun talaga na-develop ang kanilang sense of focus and self-discipline. Number 7 is connection to the global village. As I was saying, one of my kids was able to have a lot of friends from other countries because of the chess.com. Pero may isa po, we were able to look for her instructor in guitar, but that instructor, magaling po talaga siya, pero wala siya sa Pinas. But we were able to contact him kasi nga global village. So kahit sa ang lupa-lupa ng mundo, pwede tayong matuto sa kanila. And number 8, e-learning is the greener option. Alam po natin lahat yan. Dahil wala na masyadong puno-puno at environmental friendly na po ang online learning, nakatulong ito talaga ng malaki. Kaya po ang ating mga modules, the board has decided to make it available online. So, if you have to invest in a good printer, do so. Kasi maganda po yun, kung kaya naman po online na lang, there's no need to print them. But if you are wondering if you would want to have it printed, it's fine. You can have it printed kasi nakaayos na po siya, printable version na po siya. And so another thing also is yung content, pwede nyo na pong balik-balikan for your review. Okay, what about the advantages of the offline learning? Siyempre, pwede naman na meron pa ring advantage ang offline learning. Ako po, for my 5 kids, we were using both offline and online. Kaya po, we opted for homeschool learning. We have been doing this for a long time na po. Pero ngayon pa lang na-appreciate ng marami ang homeschool learning. Number 1, continuous learning depending on the student's willingness to learn. I prepare some modules for my kids and then I divide them into, whatever for this day and another day and another day. But I just noticed that if my kid would want to finish all the math or all the science in a week or in a month, okay lang. Basta the willingness to learn will be there. Number 2, parents' better involvement in their child's education. Yes, it's true. Because you don't have the teacher to man the giving of the task, so parents talaga ang involved sa offline modular plus learning. You will be the one to assign the task, how many pages, what to do, what is the class schedule for today. Kasi pag hindi po, sisigaw din kayo ng help. But the good news is with our homeschool advisor, we are able to, call the attention of your children during the 3 times a week check-ups of their tasks and goals. Number 3 is tangible, set tasks in a specified time. Nako, eto talaga ang naging effective sa amin. We have this big whiteboard and then I write the names of the kids and then I write there, okay, page this to page this, and makikita ko yun at the end of the day if they did it or not. Nagugulat ako, meron pong, they go beyond the set pages. So that's the beauty of the offline learning kasi you're able to set the tangible task tapos walang masyadong distraction kasi puro papel ang kaharap. And number 4, simplified lessons with more time for real learning away from distractions. Yun yung sinasabi ko po kanina. Direct to the point yung paper Ito lang ang lesson. The books, unlike the books, wow, ang haba ng dinidiscuss. Kayo po ba? Meron pa kayo mahabang oras magbasa. Yung memo nga natin, di nyo po masyado nababasa no? So, in the modules, that's the direct to the point lessons already. And, meron pa po silang maraming oras to Google for some answers if you will allow them to do that. Number 5, solves the issue of Wi-Fi connectivity. Yung mga naglalag, naiinis na sa service providers, ito ang best option para sa inyo. We are now discussing the disadvantages. Siyempre, if you see the advantages, meron din naman, give and take yan There are also disadvantages. Let's start with the online learning. Number 1, it may require more time of research. Yes. On one hand, this is disadvantageous because if the kids are not able to discipline themselves, they will find themselves going to other sites na distraction ng labas. Number 2, it's easier to procrastinate. Yun na nga yun Delaying tactics because you thought your child is online but all of a sudden, pumupunta na sa kung saan-saan. But wait, we have a solution for this one. With the tracking system that we have, you will know if your kids are on board or not. Kailangan lang po alam ng parents gamitin yung parents monitoring portal. Okay? The parents portal. But the good news also is that if you have several kids, one click lang, kita mo na lahat yung mga iba't ibang anak mo at kung saan na sila nandoon. Number 3, it requires better Wi-Fi connectivity and good time management skills. So, kailangan sobrang lakas at matindi ang investment sa Wi-Fi. Number 4, requires the discipline to be an active learner. Kaya po may mga naka-encounter ng problem, hindi naman sobrang dami nila. Pero masosolve po yan ng push din ng mga magulang. But we understand you. Especially those parents who are quite having less patience because you're also stressed with your work from home setup. Sometimes you feel also the disadvantage of the online learning because you just trust your kid but your kid is not able to manage his time wisely or even discipline himself to focus on the given task. Number 5 gives more freedom beyond what student can handle. We know, right? We just ask Google, where is this? Where is that? They are able to listen to this kind of music, to this kind of site na walang filters. So, saan na napunta ang mga controls? So, yan ang iyak ng mga bayan na nasa online learning. Pero alam nyo, sa totoo lang, I think pwede naman masolve yun It's just a matter of disciplining our children and having a serious talk with them and laying down a good foundation also. And it takes a lot of self-discipline and focus to make the online learning work, but it really, really works. You'll be able to learn more because this is 21st century learning. But for the offline learning, the disadvantages, admittedly, right? Especially yung nasa setup ng modular system dahil nagtipid. But we hope to address this with our offline modular plus learning. Number 1, students may not do their modules wholeheartedly. Totoo yan. If the parents have the time to really check the answers, pwede naman. But since it's paper and pen and the kids are more into the gadgets, they may not be able to take it wholeheartedly. Number 2, parents may spoil their children and answer the modules instead. Nangyayari, di ba? Mga bayaning mommy, bayaning daddy, para lang makapag-submit, tulungan na natin siya. But, yun. Naintindihan ng mga bata na pwede pala yung setup na yon. Number 3, students may be tempted to copy answers without studying the modules. Especially when the modules have already the built-in answer key. Yung sa atin po, Walang answer key sa likod. Number 4, real learning may not happen if there is no intentionality and focus. Yes, as I've told you, ang mga kids ngayon is more into videos and pictures, moving things. So, yes, they will be doing that, but the point is, they're not motivated to do that. There's no intentionality, and they might be doodling things as they answer them. And number 5, students may be bored, unengaged, and unmotivated. That's why for my children, talagang we experience that every day. We don't want this paper, ganyan, it's trash, blah, blah, blah. But then, when you explain to them that this is the set time for you to do that, and then after the set time, this is what you do, may maganda naman pong nangyayari. Basta, balanse lang. Hello, we're now in part 6 and thank you for staying with us here in this offline, online. Which one? Let's take a look at the comparison table para one glance lang. Affordability. It's more affordable definitely for offline, but it's budget friendly naman for wise kids online. What about connectivity? Wi-Fi optional for offline, but Wi-Fi is required for online. Interactivity, it's limited for offline. He will be able to meet only the homeschool advisor on a one-on-one 3 times a week, or maybe meet up with the other students during the special academic days, or if you have the enough money to enroll them in interests groups online din. But with the online, multiple touch points with teachers and classmates. Even if it's just 30 minutes, 45 minutes, aba, malaking bagay na yan na nakakausap nila ang kanilang teacher and their classmates. What about flexibility? Sa offline, student scheduled. But with the online, it's school scheduled conferences. With Wise Kids Anytime, Anywhere, pwede naman talaga kahit anong panahon, kahit anong oras, kahit saan ka magbitbit ng gamit mo. But realize this, as I've always mentioned to you, importante ang kapangyarihan ng capital S, and that is schedule. 24 hours a day will just be put into waste. 8 hours of work will just be put into waste. We will not be productive without the S, the schedule. With the offline, the student, with the help of the parents, set the schedule. But with the online, for the conferences, we set the schedule. The school set the schedule. But for the others, you're free to do that. That's why we're asking you. You can submit your tasks until Sunday. Basta at the end of the week, 12 midnight, pwede naman. Responsibility. For the offline, listen to this, dear parents. There's a high level of parent involvement. There's a high degree of self-discipline and motivation. As we have discussed, pareho pong high ang level na yan. It's all dependent on the parent. But with the online, there's this parent involvement, but it's moderate. It's shared. Because there is the moderate level of parent involvement, because it is teacher-driven. In all this po, I always tell you, you can probably review all our YouTube videos before. You have to set a space in the house. That is where the real learning happens. It's conditioning the mind that when they're in that space, it's time to learn. They can log out, log off, after the set scheduled time of learning. Also, it's important to set the schedule. What time until what time, what to do with this time, what to do with the other time. At ang reading, reading boosters, students, we set that every day. 15 minutes. Kahit na grade 7 na yan, kahit na grade 12 pa yan, we set the time for 15 minutes at the minimum to do reading. Yung una, reading to learn. When you grow older, when you're younger, learn to read. When you're becoming older, you read to learn more. So what are the programs offered by Wise Kids? Once again, it's Kinder to grade 12. For our grades 11 and 12, we are in partnership with a big school. But if you're going to check out the fees that they're charging, wow, it's so enormously high. But we're in Wise Kids, we're only providing a minimum amount affordable fee for our senior high school. For subsidies for grade 7 and incoming grade 11, we're providing subsidies care of ESC and PAYAC. Kailangan lang po makipagtulungan kayo sa amin because we're giving you instructions on how to apply for it online when the system is already open. What are the strands available for the senior high school? Importante po pakinggan ninyo ito lahat. Sa online setup, marami po kaming nakikater na mga parents who have been previously enrolled in big schools. As in big schools. Big schools are charging the same fees for the same online learning. Wise sila. These are wise parents because, save some amount of money. I always tell this to my students from before, from the long time ago. Save money, choose your investment wisely. If you have to invest in a quality education, as in super branded names of school, invest for that kung hindi masyadong madami ang finances available pagdating ng college. As in the top universities, how much is per semester? How much is per term? Invest on that. Prepare for that para sobrang ganda ng resume nila pagdating sa college. But when it's high school, save as much as you can. At dun sa savings na yon, you can afford quality education when you go to colleges. And true enough, ang dami na po na-produce ng Wise Kids na magagaling na mga bata. And the parents are very thankful that they are able to get that solid, grounded education na may personal touch pa with the teachers when they were in high school. Yan din po kasi ang aming mga experiences. So, ang aming po mga strands for senior high school ay ito. Kasi online na naman din lahat eh. We have ABM, we have STEMs, we have STEM, UMS, we have GAS. Kapag hindi ka pa sure kung ano ang gusto mo, are you in the business? Are you in the science-related courses? Are you in the, personal management courses? You go for the GAS, the General Academic Strand. Pero ang good news, meron na rin po tayong TechVoc. So yung mga into ICT, computers, vocational courses, we're also going to offer that here in Wise Kids. What did Benjamin Franklin say? An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Alam po namin na madami na po kayong pinagdadaanan sa mga panahong ganito. Wise Kids is here to help you. We may not be able to offer 100% the solutions to all your problems, but we are doing every possible means to level up, develop, upgrade our skills and knowledge para mas makapag-produce po kami ng mga wise kids talaga in the future. Wise Kids is an advanced children's school geared towards business and leadership. Finally, sa tanong ng bayan, online or offline, which one? If you're going to ask me, the answer is, oh no, of course I'm not going to choose for you, but it depends on you. Here in Wise Kids, you have that great power. You can choose. And your choice is very essential because you know what fits for your child and with the lifestyle of the family. So once again, whatever your choice may be, if it's online or offline, allow Wise Kids to help you. So for your inquiries, kindly give us a call, chat us, or email us. Not tomorrow, But take advantage. Do it now. Classes are going to open as early as July 15.